football franchise, talking about that guy. Hoogie, Tyler every week. Heavy analytics, competition real steep. Whoa, that's sweet. Ho in this belief. Nick so sick, man, bringing ships the whole fleet. Goats, not sheep. Follow every tweet. Don't sleep, always finding sleepers on the street. Boy. F3, winning every single league. Money back guaranteed, but it's free. Welcome to the franchise. Welcome to the franchise. Let's go.
Welcome, everyone, to the Fantasy Football Franchise Podcast. My name is Nick Sigmund, and with me, as always, is Tyler Gee and Jonathan Robertson.
The Bears.
We're going to have to make this one quick tonight because these two have to go watch the game because their entire future rests on it.
The Bears.
Or our future until September of next year. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. I just hit the voice.
These two are basically tied for all intents and purposes.
Whoa.
But Jonathan is beating me by half of a point. Yes.
All right. So Tyler has Thielen and Bobby Wagner. Is that
Yes. Right? It's our league that has IDP in it. As
And-
every good league should.
And Jonathan has Diggs and Tyler Lockett.
Yeah. And we're butt tied. Right there.
This
With
is
Nick,
going to be
Jonathan.
interesting.
It will. I thought he had it because he has George Kittle on his team. I have Saquon, which scored under George Kittle, like everyone predicted. And I was very upset to just watch. Like, I thought I had the game on lock. He played James White. But he has Tom Brady and George Kittle, and no one else matters.
Yo, Zeke.
Yeah. who
Okay.
cares? Well, whatever, man.
You have three players.
And Brett Maher, man, he had 13.5 points.
Yes, he had a kicker do really well.
62-yard field goal, man.
Yeah. I'm just like we all predicted.
Yeah, what pisses me off, Amazon constantly sends me messages like, hey, your thing shipped. Hey, here's another message to tell you when it'll be there. Hey, here's another message telling you it's going to be there today. Dude, just tell me once. Like, I got it.
Do you mean send you a message that says, where did that come from?
Yeah, I will say this is the craziest week in fantasy football. Yeah, it was just a mosh pit of just, like, what? Like, when Oakland wins a game, when the Oakland Raiders win a game,
When the Dolphins beat the Patriots.
when all these things happen, you're in for a bad time. I mean, really. I mean, it was just... I mean, we were talking about how literally you could have... Like, if you played Dak and Amari, you just won a league.
Oh, yeah. Amari Cooper's destroyed today. It's a good thing I was in the playoffs of our home league, sitting there with Amari Cooper in the consolation bracket, outscoring everyone.
Yeah. Hey, bonus round, I found out that I'm actually making my works playoffs, which I did not think was going to happen, but I did not look. The person in third is the one I'm playing this week, and when I beat her, I have the same score as her. But
but you
because
have
I
more
beat
points.
her and I have more points, I'm going to make the playoffs. I was looking at the person in fourth, being like, okay, I have to beat out this guy in fourth. I was like, well, I can't.
Yeah.
Did not think about how I could beat out the person in third.
I whenever I know I'm not going to make the playoffs, I play just to piss someone else off.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, I play to make sure the person I play against is not going to get to the
Oh, well,
playoffs.
shout out to one of our writers, Frank. Whenever, the Hunt news went down, he went out and he picked up Spencer Ware ASAP because they had free ad and drops after the waivers. And his team just his league straight dog custom because he had no chance of getting in the playoffs. And he was like, I'm here to play.
Yeah. I picked up James
It's not even
Samuels, and I was
Dynasty.
just like, suck it.
It's not even Dynasty. He just was like, nope, I'm just picking him up. And they were like, wow, you're a jerk. And he's like, screw you all. Like, he was like, that's just where I'm at. And the guy, I think one of the guys that was contending had Hunt. So he's sitting there like,
he's
really?
you
Earn
SOB.
it.
Yeah.
Earn it.
Yeah. Get good, nerd.
Yeah. All right, we'll get into the news.
The fantasy news.
Or will we?
What
So,
else do you have planned?
Apparently Odell is going to be back this week.
Yeah. Didn't need you last week or anything, Odell.
What if he
feeling-
just comes back and
he's
scores like
feeling
4
much better.
points? Yeah, I saw that. He's feeling much better today, guys.
After
Cool.
that win, yeah.
Cool.
I was waiting for halftime. Oh,
Odell's here. I think if they're on the
it
injury report,
healed.
Yeah, they can't be.
I know. A miracle has occurred.
apparently Hill after the tweet going, man, my foot's bad, man. It's now day to day.
And apparently,
He
then I
may
heard
even play
another.
Thursday.
I saw breaking news that he's playing Thursday. Like
Yeah,
he's
they
expected
basically
to play.
said they expect him to play.
Do you blame him though?
The doctor said he may limp walking, but he should run just fine.
So here's the bad news. I had in that work league. I said I just squeezed him in. Yeah, I have him, which is good that I have him. But what is bad is I'm sitting here like, I mean, if they say he's going to play, you have to play him. But I mean, I can very well see that he plays like 5 snaps as a decoy, or just something stupid, and me be like, glad I played this dude.
Yeah.
So I don't know. The only thing I'm hoping for is when he was like, my foot is bad. I think he meant like the 1940s jazz version. Like, baby, it's bad. Yeah. Hey, you cool cats. Listen, I got some mean jazz for you. What is this podcast?
So Eckler's not supposed to play. We'll talk about this later. But Justin Jackson, with
Melvin Gordon
out,
could be back.
he could be.
He probably will be.
He could be.
He probably will be.
It's a big game.
But here's the thing, though. If they have the playoff, I mean, I don't think they're going to get the bye week. If they have the playoffs on lock, why rush? I mean, they may not, but I haven't looked at the playoff
Yeah,
bracket
it's a
of sorts.
mess
But-
right now.
But if they needed to sit Melvin Gordon for an extra week just to make sure they could use him in the playoffs, why not?
I think they can get a bye week because think about it. The Chiefs. Okay, name another AFC team.
I think the Jaguars are an AFC team. The
They
Houston
are.
Texans are one. The Titans are an AFC team.
Okay, sarcasm is very fluent here.
Jets. Patriots? The Patriots and the Texans.
The Patriots have lost plenty of games this week or this year.
This week, they lost.
Three noted as they've lost to the Jags. They've lost to the Dolphins. They've lost to the Titans. Oh, fourth, they lost to the Lions. Oh,
The
The
Patriots are
Patriots-
9-4.
yeah. Look at that off the top of my head. Named every loss. I pay
Which are
close
the
attention.
most obscure losses. Like, they really are. Like, the Patriots, like, all right, we're going to go in and we're going to play St. Mary's School for the Blind. And you're like, oh, we know how this is going to go.
So the top AFC teams, we have the Chiefs and the Chargers. Okay, so the Chargers are second right now.
Yeah. And they can
And then,
go to first.
And then after that, you have the Patriots and the Texans.
They're fighting for home
But
field
yeah,
advantage.
the home field advantage, man.
No, I get it. I'm just
Who's third?
third is tied between the Patriots and Texans at 9-4.
Which, you know what's crazy? The Titans can still win the AFC South.
Yeah, you're talking like a Bucks fan last week.
I got to give props to your Bucks, though. They made the Saints look like straight boo-boo.
Yeah, until the Saints made us look like straight.
But if
boo-boo.
the Texans go 1-2 and the Titans win out,
I love
The
these
Colts
playoff
are also
things.
tied with the Titans.
I
Right
love
now.
these little playoff conspiracies. Okay, so listen,
they
if
play
they
the
win
Cowboys
out,
next week.
they always start off. My favorite thing about these playoffs conspiracies is they always start off with this. All right, if we win out, stop, stop right there. That was already a bold assumption. The fact that you add on the word "and then" is a scary.
You know what's
So,
sad?
so if the Steelers didn't,
the Raiders
tie?
started that in week 4. All right. If we win out,
if we yeah, it was not good.
so if the Browns win out,
what does
I want to get a
what does
shirt that
division
says
look
that
like?
if we win out.
Look at that division because the Steelers are
no, the Steelers are 7-5-1. The Ravens are 7-6. The Browns are 5-7-1.
it could happen.
I like how the Browns have like 3 wins underneath their intermediate head coach, which is like more than
Did you all
they
see that
had.
Mike McCarthy is actually supposedly front runner? And
Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't
I'm
get
good.
a tweet on Bleacher Report that I saw today. It said it'll be interesting to see what Mike McCarthy does with a real quarterback.
Here's the more interesting news: is that
Well, Aaron Rodgers isn't real.
some people have said
That's
Mike
right.
Tomlin
He's
might get
legendary.
fired.
And is that bad? That's the first thing that I thought about was, I mean, Aaron Rodgers is unworldly, so yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
He's not a real person. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
So someone said Mike Tomlin might be fired.
You know,
I mean, the Steelers, if they continue to suck for the rest of the season.
I'm just gonna say it. I think we need to calm down. I think ever since the Sean McVay thing, where they got, Jeff Fisher out and it just became a new team overnight. I mean, yes, that happens, and it happens. It happens with the Bears too. Like the Bears, obviously, been going from Fox to Nagy. I mean, we're a whole different team now.
But the Packers showed that it happens for good reason. I mean, think about it. I really think an average coach, and not saying that Mike Tomlin is a great coach. He's done a lot of great things.
I'd say he's a good coach.
But
let's pause.
Well, he's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I was going to say he did win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean,
who's his quarterback?
He still won a Super Bowl. Even if you have a good team.
All right. Jeff Fisher won a Super Bowl with the Bears. He was a player there.
Everything comes to an end, though. I mean, but
John Fox was the quarterback coach for Peyton Manning when he won a Super Bowl. Guess John Fox is a great coach. Look at the quarterback. He quarterback coached Peyton Manning to the Super Bowl. He's great.
I think he was head coach during the Super Bowl for the Broncos.
Well, he's still a good coach now.
But here's the thing is at one time you had a really solid top 10 offensive line. You had Ben Roethlisberger. You had Le'Veon Bell. You had Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster. I mean, what else do you need? I mean, to win. I mean,
no drama.
A lovely bunch of coconuts. Do.
All right, so I'm going to go ahead and do it preemptively, but I'm going to give you my stud of the week.
What the? No, you can't.
You'll get it. The fantasy football
franchise, we're the
data specialist who did the fantasy football points for the last play of the Miami Dolphins and Patriots game. He is the stud of the week. I was actually listening to this on the way here on ESPN Radio. They were talking about it. They were like, okay, so get this. Ryan Tannehill threw the ball. I don't know. Well, I'll mix up the names. But Kenny Stills caught it for I think 9 yards. Mm-hmm. He then lateraled it to Devontae Parker for, I think, something like 6 yards, who then lateraled it to Kenyon Drake, who then scored a 59-yard touchdown. So Ryan Tannehill gets the full pass. He gets the full touchdown for the whole play. Mm-hmm. But there are some modes that took Kenyon Drake and gave him a 69-yard touchdown for some reason. I mean, the whole thing is completely – they're still working on it. They're done with their taxes for this year, but they're still working on this.
Which leads us to the next point of always check to see if there's stat corrections. If you lose by one, Jonathan will testify. If you lose by one, and let's say your opponent had Kenyon Drake, and they change that from a 69, to a 59,
Which, Nick, I'm just going to do this on air. I want you to clarify. Our field goal scoring rules. Mm-hmm. How did I end up? I thought 5 points is all you can get. Is that right?
I don't know what.
Brett Maher got a 62-yard field goal, and I got 5.5 points for it. I don't know what that means. I think we broke it.
That means that we're even. So that half point you're ahead of me? No, sir.
I don't know. I have to look at
No, sir.
Collusion. I thought 5 points was as much as you could get, but I could be wrong.
Collusion.
You could get a half point for style kick.
Collusion. That half point matters to me.
50 plus are 5 points.
Okay, he kicked 62 yards, so...
Yeah, so where's this 5.5 points?
Where are we getting a half point
Where's
from?
this half point coming from?
I don't know.
All right, you and then the one guy working on the Kenyon Drake thing, you all get together, talk about it.
The good thing is, and guys, we actually switched over to SleeperBot this year.
They're not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor of the show.
No, but you know what? They've done a good job.
They have. I really like SleeperBot. And they're free.
I'm sorry. I keep trying to hit view breakdown, but my fingers have frozen.
And I'll tell you this about SleeperBot, and this is...
assisted tackle.
Oh.
He got an assisted tackle.
Oh,
whatever.
nice.
Yeah. They may upgrade that. It may have been a full tackle. It may have been a full tackle.
No, I will say this about SleeperBot. My favorite thing, too, is it's not only the league, but it also has... It's Dynasty. News. It's free. The news. And my favorite part is the league's chat is in there. There's no secondary. We were using a secondary thing to talk about trades and stuff like that, which is fun, and that's what I do with all my MFL leagues. But I was so excited to just be like, it's just a one-stop shop.
Yeah.
And I'm
Like,
not
all
hate-
my crap is here.
And you can private message everyone, too.
I'm not
Yeah.
hating about MFL at all.
I have
I have
plenty of
leagues
leagues
on
there,
MFL. Pay good money to play MFL, but the thing about it is like with SleeperBot as opposed to MFL, and I may have a setting wrong on MFL, but SleeperBot, every time your player does something, even if he's on the bench, they send you a friendly
Yeah,
notification.
it kind of pisses me off, though. When it's like, hey, this person on your bench, yeah,
By the
he
way, that
scored
guy
50 points
didn't
today,
play.
guys.
Also, they do a weekly report, and they're like, "He was the best manager. He was the worst manager." Wow, just rub my nose in it. Why
Yeah,
don't you?
last week it was Tyler. I was like, And it's only because it's like, oh, hey, this guy on your bench, yeah, he blew
I may
up.
get it this week because I had freaking Elijah McGuire on my bench. Good old
we
tried and
expected-
true
we expected
Elijah
that.
McGuire, who
So-
scored double the points Leonard Fournette did.
So we'll move on. Raiders GM was fired, as expected.
How he had a job to this point was beyond me.
Honestly, the next, I think if I was a GM, I would want to go to the Raiders. You have a clean slate, and you have tons of stuff to do.
You can't mess it up from there.
No. You're
Yeah, I mean-
basically walking into the Browns.
I mean,
You're like,
how
all right.
long are you able to come in and use the same excuse? I mean, look what I walked into.
Yeah, I mean,
It wasn't me who traded away Khalil Mack. It wasn't me who traded away Amari Cooper.
I would have never done any of those moves.
But
Never.
I'm going to be honest with you. Oakland beating Pittsburgh.
Yeah, Pittsburgh sucks.
And I'll say this, a lot of people are like,
Just
well,
kidding,
they
just
only
kidding.
they only had we only had Big Ben. I'm like, he got hurt. I'm like, for a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
he
you
came
still
back.
He came in the
can't-
second half, didn't he?
Like, okay, no, he did. That's what I'm saying. So Big Ben though, I mean, like, it'd be one thing if he missed the rest of the game.
What I'd give it to you is that James Conner was out. Yeah, the guy you've been using all year long as your running back was not there. I get it, but that's still not an excuse. This is the Raiders.
It is a time to be alive. Cleveland
Yes.
26-20. You got the Raiders beating Pittsburgh 24-21. Chicago's beating the Rams. Giants are throwing a 40 burger on somebody.
Don't forget about the
Miami beating New England.
the Niners beating the Broncos, who were trying. I mean, the Broncos needed this win to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Like that, I think there's like a slim chance, but I mean, it was like everybody was like, "Hey, the Broncos may really run it. Look at their schedule ahead of them."
Yeah.
And they
Not
play the
anymore.
49ers and get their freaking teeth kicked in. And I was like, well, I don't know.
But I'm looking forward to some of the Raiders draft picks. I like to see who they get.
We, as the Raiders organization, draft the University of Alabama with all 32 picks we have in the first round.
So I know this is a NFL podcast, but how about, I don't know if you all follow college football or not, but the guy who won the Heisman Trophy, he's going to play baseball.
You make more money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You play longer. Less damage on your body.
Here's what they're doing.
more
I heard
money.
this on Golick and Wingo this morning.
Go play both.
Best radio podcast or radio show out there, by the way. But he
Just because we're not on the radio.
That's
I understand.
right.
That makes sense.
baseball said we'll give you $4 million. As a rookie, he can get $1 million plus from football. Football's going, no, come play for us. Baseball, yeah, go play for them, but also play for us. Take both. And there is actually no contractual statement that says he cannot do that. He could literally be the first player. Did Bo Jackson play two sports?
I think
remember.
he just went to
Tim
baseball
Tebow
after.
did.
Yeah.
Tim Tebow did the same thing Bo Jackson did.
No.
He played football and then went to
I
baseball.
always laugh on Score Center, my score keeping app, when it faults and it can't load something. It says, "Oops, something went wrong," and it's a picture of Tim Tebow, and he's hitting the wall as he tries to catch the ball. All right, Nick, take us into another segment.
Nope, we're not done.
Well, we're still in the news.
Yeah, Jordan Reed is getting an MRI done on his
That doesn't
foot.
matter. No one. If you play somebody from the Redskins, you're done.
All right, one more. So I put this in here because I want to say it. There are people who play fantasy football, and then
there's
there are
not.
people who played George Kittle this past week.
I'm still salty about it. The fact that me and Jonathan are in a game because of George Kittle it's just baffling to me. Like,
Here was the chat over the weekend. George Kittle, oh my gosh. Freaking George Kittle. Could he calm down? George Kittle!
He's over 9,000.
I mean, like, it was just so frustrating to be like,
Scouter say about his power level? It's over 9,000. George Kittle.
I just freaking Kittle me timbers.
You know what's sad too? He did it all in the first half. Second half, he's over there with a steak and a
Yeah, because he was
side of mushrooms.
receiving death threats.
Guys, I'm tired.
He went into the locker room, checked his phone, and was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to calm down."
I think he like bet a bookie like, "Hey, I'm gonna get over 100 yards today."
I mean, it's just insane. I mean, but I think it was frustrating because this is the situation. I had Saquon, I had Rob Gronkowski, I had Mark Ingram, I had Michael Thomas. I've got a great team, and they're getting all the way from 11 to 20 points each, and then Saquon getting closer to 30. I'm like, oh, this is going to be a good week for old Daddy Gee. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I'm going to drop 32 points and a half. I mean, I guess.
I mean, Amari Cooper did it. Why can't George Kittle?
Why can't you? We'll get that as a shirt. If Amari Cooper did it, why can't you?
Exactly. All right. Well, we're moving to the waiver wire. First, we're going to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Sports Bracketeers. It's a daily fantasy sports company. There, you answer statistical questions in a head-to-head format, and you win money. And so you answer cool questions like, how many yards is a certain quarterback going to throw, or a combination of quarterbacks, or how many yards are these running backs going to run, and you go against other people guessing the same stats. And so by the end of the day, you figure out, hey, I've won a bunch of money, or I've played for free and I've won nothing. Because they have free, they have paid for brackets. You get to choose. It's a breath of fresh air from sitting there setting your lineup for 3 hours and then second guessing yourself for the next 12. I enjoy it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's definitely worth a check out. Got to check them out, sportsbracketeers.com. Just make a free account and enjoy.
Just a sin, Doug Baldwin doesn't play tonight.
Oh, that means Xavier Rose is going to be covering old Lockett.
It's good and bad. It's a bittersweet because Rhodes going to be covering Lockett more likely, but then also it's like, who else are they going to throw to? I mean,
That's
Diggs.
That's on the other side of the ball.
He's playing defense too.
He's the best player on the Seahawks.
Yeah, but that's okay. Bobby Wagner's there to stop him. I told Nick and Jonathan, I was like, this is what I literally want to happen every play. Throw to Adam Thielen, catch the ball, just gets tackled by Bobby Wagner. All right, repeat. Until we get down to where Adam Thielen can score a touchdown.
And then I want Bobby Wagner to intercept and run for a touchdown. 99 yards.
After he clips Diggs, and now Diggs is out for the game.
Yeah, that's
No,
fair.
I'm just kidding.
That's
I don't want anybody to get hurt, but I would like to.
All right, let's look at the waiver wire.
Pick him up.
Listen, I'm not the one who went off topic, Jonathan. You are.
Waiver wire. Nobody. All right. You name me a good waiver wire candidate.
Apparently, Ted Ginn may be coming back from IR.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think, to me, though, I don't know if he's somebody I'm picking up. He's just...
In the semifinals,
Yeah, I'm not
you're
playing him.
picking up Ted Ginn and rolling him.
Have you seen my teams?
You're not in the semifinals.
Yeah, there's...
No,
yeah.
but I want to make that point because in one of my leagues, my bench has Melvin Gordon, Kerryon Johnson, and James Conner on it. Some other people's benches could have AJ Green, Tyreek Hill, but if Tyreek Hill plays, who cares? And some other people. You could have downed wide receivers, and you could need these.
Yeah, no, I'm not. I think this just makes Traquan Smith. I mean, not only that, but Traquan Smith was a boom or bust anyway. I think this
Bust
just makes
for sure.
him super bust.
I'm sorry, I could not play Traquan Smith for the rest of the year. If he does wonderful next week, cool, but I'm not playing him.
I had to in my league.
2 zeros in a row is unacceptable. And he was targeted. Don't believe he was not targeted. He was targeted.
Don't believe it.
He just did not catch these targets.
Yeah. I think somebody else that you need to talk about as far as waiver wire goes, Deshaun Hamilton. I mean, you can sit here and say,
I love his play.
But I mean, he
Musical.
Hamilton.
7 receptions, 47 yards, and a touchdown last week. Now, granted, it was against San Francisco, but his schedule coming up, Week 15, Cleveland, Week 16, Oakland. Okay?
Justin Jackson, if he's not picked up.
Justin Jackson. If
He dropped me 4 points this week in my other playoff league.
Yeah, he didn't do good, I admit. But I think that whole game, no one expected the Chargers to be struggling as much as they did. I mean, that was another almost upset.
What was it? 7 rushes, 12 yards.
Yeah, it wasn't good. But
He could have fell forward
with
7 times.
With Eckler gone, Kansas City doesn't have exactly the best run defense. I'm just saying, and if Melvin Gordon is out, it has to be Justin Jackson. I mean, I think that he's going to get the carries. It just depends on Melvin Gordon. I side that Melvin Gordon comes back. Like Jonathan, it's a big game. They need him. I think that, all those things, I think he'll be good to go. But if he's not, Justin Jackson, although hurting you last week, is a great play. And then one last person, Marcus Murphy. I mean, it's deep. It's deep, but LaShawn McCoy got hurt. And then Chris Ivory got hurt. So
They're just going to put Josh Allen in.
yeah, I mean, Josh Allen could be all of it.
I mean, he pass, he catch, he rush.
He protect, he attack.
He's doing it better than Lamar Jackson right now.
Well,
I mean, this is the reason why with Josh Allen that I said during the offseason, and we talked about Dynasty and Superflex and like him just falling so late. I was like, I just can't. There is a chance, and that chance is greater to me than a late second, which is where I got him.
I mean, could you imagine him with a better team? He's with the Bills.
Yeah, they're a
but
bad team.
I think the problem is that he is the Bills. And so if he was on a better team, he would not be the whole team.
That's fair, because, it'd be one of those things, too, that it'd almost be kind of like, almost like a Lamar Jackson, where Lamar Jackson has better weapons in some ways, and...
Oh, he has better weapons in every way.
Now Lamar Jackson just isn't looking like an NFL quarterback. Like, he looks like what we kind of thought him to be. He was an athletic freak from college who relied a lot on that freakness, and, you got... And not to say that he can't. I still think he can be a fine quarterback, but it's just right now. I mean, if you looked at that interview with the Ravens coach, he just was not happy about how Lamar Jackson, that fumble, and just I don't know. I still have hope for Lamar, but it's
He looked to
dry
come
spell.
a little bit more into a passer this week. I think he had 200 some odd short yards and 2 touchdowns. I mean, he looked to be passing more. I just like Josh Allen. I mean, Buffalo Bills fans cried because they lost their best receiver in Kelvin Benjamin. I mean,
Yeah, I don't know if I would say I like Josh Allen. I think he's fine.
I mean, he's had, I think, 20 plus points 3 weeks in a row now.
Yeah, but it's all just on his legs, and I can't.
Hey, that's what you said during the Periscope on Sunday, and he ran for another 100 plus yards.
Yeah. I mean, he ran for 101 yards, so yes, 100 plus.
100 plus?
Okay.
Okay.
I was like, I'm pretty sure it's 101 yard. Yeah. I mean, it's fine. I mean, I just 36 attempts, 18 completions,
Hey,
no passing touchdowns.
but here's my question, though. How much of that is on him? His best receiver right now is who?
I know. I
But
100%
say his name.
Zay Jones.
Zay Jones. That's his
Zay-
best receiver.
He's getting a new nickname. Zay Mother Lovin' Jones. Because that's what he is Zay Mother Lovin' Jones.
Like, I was upset about it as Cowboys fan because, we didn't have that pure, wide receiver 1. Imagine being a Bills fan. Zay Jones, they don't have a wide receiver 3. I mean, like...
I mean, the only thing I will say, though, is he's looking great as he rushes against the Giants and Miami.
Whoa.
And,
I mean, who?
The Giants.
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Yeah, who do you run against this week? The Jets?
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
still
top
rushing.
defense. Yeah. So strong.
Miami doesn't have a bad defense now.
Yeah, I think Tom Brady thought that, too.
Ooh.
So now we're comparing Tom Brady's ability to...
What is the Miami Dolphins record again? With their good predominant
Well, keep in mind, they also were losing... They lost Rashad Jones for portion of the year.
The
as well.
Miami Dolphins are 7-6.
Decent records, above 500.
They were 6-6 before they destroyed the Patriots. I'm just saying destroyed because that last play was epic.
Middle of the pack against wide receiver as far as fantasy goes. They're the 7th worst against running backs, which Josh Allen basically is, over the year.
But also keep in mind, too, I mean, against the Bills, you can literally just zone in on Josh Allen. You've not worried about anybody else.
You know the 49ers are fighting the Raiders for the first pick right now. They're both 3-10. This could
They
be
better-
a battle.
I don't think
Wait,
George Kittle got that
What is
memo.
the Cardinals?
The Cardinals are a number. 1 second.
Somebody needs to tell George Kittle.
The Cardinals are 3-10 as well. Okay, they're both in the same division. I was
Yeah, I was
looking at the
gonna say-
bottom.
I was like, I know the Cardinals were. So it's the Raiders, the Cardinals, and the 49ers fighting for that division.
For the first pick, yeah.
Fighting for the first pick. Maybe the Cardinals can get a quarterback.
The Falcons and the Jaguars are trying. And the
Trying
Jets
real
and the
hard.
Bills.
I'm still calling it. Jameis Winston goes to Jacksonville.
Okay. Where's Marcus Mariota go?
He stays with the Titans.
I figured it'd be a backup for
What's his contract? Like 4 years, $18.
I think he stays with the Titans. I mean,
I don't think they pay him a lot.
$19.
Like, I'd say he gets
sandwich.
I'd say he gets the median salary, not the every like Aaron Rodgers. He's the most paid quarterback now.
I can see him getting 5 years and
Right,
getting
I'll
I don't
say
know
it.
5
I'll
years.
say-
I'd say 3.
I'll say it. I don't care.
Nah, he'll
I'll
at least
say
get
it.
4.
I don't like Marcus Mariota.
I know. You tell me all the time.
No, I mean I disparage him, but I've never came out and labeled myself as that. I
So
just
you're
don't.
you're a hater.
Yeah.
So you know who the best wide receiver in the past 6 weeks is?
Like Amari Cooper.
Yes.
Yeah, he is. Say it again.
You know who the best wide receiver in the last 6 weeks is?
Who?
Amari Cooper.
Yeah, he is. One more time for the death.
War. Huh. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Say it again. Yeah. Sorry.
Are you done?
No, not at all.
All right, Nick, take us to something.
Well, so, we were talking last show, a couple shows ago, about how many, targets Amari Cooper has had over the last little bit.
66. No, wait, that's 53. Sorry. 53 targets, 40 receptions for a 75.5% catch rating.
Amari Cooper over
Which
the
is the
last,
highest of the
since
top
the last
12.
6 games. Here's the order, and I'll do this again just so everybody knows. The last 6 games that these players have played, so if they had a bye or they got hurt, it just takes the last 6 they have played. Amari Cooper is number 1. Who is number 2?
Keenan Allen. But I've been
Close.
looking at it. It's Tyreek Hill or Keenan Allen.
It's Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, Keenan Allen, then OBJ. Now, I know he didn't play last week, but it's also including, this is last 6.
Julio.
Then Julio. Then
Juju?
Juju,
Okay.
Devonta Adams, Michael Thomas, surprising one here, T.Y. Hilton,
He's been blowing up the past couple weeks.
Adam
2 or 3
Thielen,
weeks.
and then
Against the Texans. Told you.
Cooper
Told you, man.
Cup, because it still counts.
The last 6 games, yeah.
And then Antonio Brown.
Texans.
So I think an honorable mention is Adam Humphries at number 16. Last 6 games, he has had 65 fantasy points, which is more than Stephon Diggs has had, or Brandon Cooks.
Yeah, John. It's more than
Just,
both those players.
Now it's 6 games, but,
Where's Tyler Lockett on here, huh?
he is up there, actually. He is number 17, right above Stephon Diggs.
That's fine. Just keep performing. Keep putting it up.
You do you, boo-boo.
Same thing.
Yeah.
Just same thing, different day, man.
So let's talk about this. Here's what I kind of wanted to talk about, just kind of shifting gears a little bit. I know we kind of do our studs and duds and stuff, but I just want to talk about a few people that I think in the offseason are going to have a lot of conversation around them.
Don't keep your hands to yourself.
And it's just people that are you buying the hype or are you not? People that maybe started re-emerging these last few weeks. And, you know, we always have, when I talk about fantasy football, a lot of times people go a lot higher in their ADP the following year because the last taste you had in your mouth. And that happened with Todd Gurley. We talked about it. Now, Todd Gurley worked out, so it's still, you know, that last taste is good. It was like when you went to a restaurant. Last time you had that restaurant, if it was really good, the next time you go, you get really excited because it was
like
really
every time
good.
I go to McDonald's.
Yeah. Like Taco Bell. Like, you ever have like an amazing Taco Bell?
No.
No.
You've never had amazing Taco Bell?
No.
You
I
will
can
do-
honestly say that Taco Bell has been on the same level each time. They do get an award in consistency.
No. See, y'all need to start drinking more. Listen, if you start...
Listen, this is what I do when I go to Taco Bell. Yes, could you give me the fire sauce? Okay? No, that's all I need. Just give me the fire sauce.
Have you ever taken fire sauce and put it into your ramen noodles?
Have you ever put
It
your
tastes-
cinnamon twist and dipped them into the nacho cheese?
It tastes just like poverty. If you haven't tried it out, you should. No, I've not. So let's a little story time. Let's break away from fantasy football. Nick, for some reason, decides that he likes cinnamon twists dipped in nacho cheese at Taco Bell. I'm not making this up.
It's fantastic.
He thinks it's fantastic. He goes every time we go, he gets it. Now, if this tells you about how obscene this is, we were reading a news article, or I read a news article, and I sent it to Nick, and I read a news article that a guy was selling drugs selling meth out of a Taco Bell, and how he knew that you wanted to buy meth from him, like via drive-thru, was you ordered cinnamon twists with nacho cheese dip. That was his signal for you to know that he was going to add a little bag of meth into your Taco Bell. I'm not making the story up. And I sent it to Nick, and I said, you realize that your eating habits are so obscure that people are using it for drug references. And all I could think about was Nick opening up his bag and be like, what the hell? What is this?
Why did my order cost $100?
Why is there rock candy in here? What is going on? So that's Nick.
Yeah, that'll be $85 for cinnamon twist and cheese.
Well, 5 of it's for Taco Bell. The other 80 is for me. What? Is this a stick up? And this guy just being really upset with you, being like, I don't know what's going on.
So, what does this have to do about buying the hype?
So when you when you have that last taste in your mouth, those people go higher. They just do. I mean, Keenan Allen did fantastic for you at the end of the year, and he's doing fantastic for you now. But what is somebody that the taste in your mouth is great right now? Maybe like Amari Cooper, right?
T.Y. Hilton.
Are you buying that going into next year? Like,
Sure.
Okay. And then what is somebody who the taste in your mouth is fantastic right now, but you're not buying it? And then we're going to extend it on to somebody that has just gone away. Their taste is that of a distant wind. And so kind of get about 3 of those guys. One guy, the taste that you're going to believe in. Another guy, the taste that you don't believe in. It's sitting pretty now, but next year. And then one guy, the remnants. He's still on your palate. It sounded gross. But that's where we're at. So, Jonathan, you talked very briefly about Amari Cooper and your belief in him. What round does he go in redraft leagues for you? And in Dynasty, what are you willing to pay for him? If you're buying, it's hard to buy him right now. I mean, he's that hot.
So, going into...
This is the guy with the good taste, and you're going to continue next year. Okay.
Going into the 2019 season, if I'm in Dynasty, I would very easily give up 2 first rounds for him. And the reason is number one is there's not a lot of talent in this next year's draft as far as wide receiver goes. Yes, there was just a wide receiver that reclassified.
I disagree with that statement. But continue.
And there's a wide receiver that reclassified. I can't remember if he's from Oklahoma State or no, he's from Ole Miss, I think. I think he's from Ole Miss. He reclassified. He'll be good, I think, but I like promised production, and I'm willing to give up 2 firsts if I am in a wide receiver needy team. I think Amari Cooper finishes as a wide receiver 1 next year. I mean, just because of the production. I mean, the Cowboys aren't going to bring in any other offensive weapons. They're going to stay where they are.
So where does he go in redraft?
In redraft, I always go running back first round. So I would take him in a snake draft, possibly high second.
Second, yeah. Okay, so let me just talk about this. Just get a gauge on Amari Cooper as far as dynasty goes. Who would you rather have, him or Tyreek Hill? Nick, do you got an answer to that one?
I would have to go Amari Cooper. I mean, I'm not trying to be a fanboy, but I just think they both are really good assets to their team. Tyreek Hill shares it with
last 6 weeks,
Travis Kelce.
Both have the same amount of targets. Amari Cooper has 40 receptions. He has 33. Tyreek Hill. Amari Cooper has 641 yards. Tyreek Hill has 623 yards. Amari Cooper has 6 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill has 4. So over the last 6 weeks, and it's really hard to gauge that because, Dallas, he hasn't been in Dallas except for the last, 6 weeks or so. Because, they got him week 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So 5. Mm-hmm. So I guess I need to rechange my... But that's the last 6 games that he's played.
And one big thing, too, is because I know some people listen to this have to go, well, 6 touchdowns, and 3 of them came from last night. Okay, yes. But you also saw by watching that game or following the stats, who did they go to?
No, I agree.
mean...
I'm going to respectfully disagree and go Tyreek. I like Patrick Mahomes better, and I don't know if much changes there either. And I think that they have to rely less on the run game now that Kareem Hunt's gone. I think that's a factor too. So I want to go Tyreek Hill, but I think it's a debate. I want to add one more: Amari Cooper or Juju Smith-Schuster. And I'll add one more on after that one.
I would have to go Amari Cooper again because you don't know what's going on with Big Ben. Look at what's going on with the Steelers right now. They are on a decline, and the Cowboys are on an incline.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
Well, I'm just saying, moving forward. I mean, so Nick, do you change? Have you changed?
I'd rather have Amari Cooper than Juju.
Okay, I got 2 more. Or 1 more. 1 more. Sorry, Cooper Kupp, Amari Cooper. I think I know the answer, but I'm just for the kids at home.
Amari Cooper.
yeah.
And it's not necessarily that I like Cooper Kupp better. It's just that who's he going to throw to? Woods, Kupp.
No, I understand. No,
Cook,
I'll go Amari
Gurley.
Cooper too. He's the
clear-cut number 1 wide receiver, no questions asked.
I will
of the
take
Dallas
Tyreek Hill
Cowboys.
over Amari Cooper, but that's the only one I disagree on. So, but here's the other part about Amari Cooper. I don't know if you can get him for 2 firsts right now. Like, I know that's what you want to pay, but I mean, part of Dynasty too is what do you want to pay and what are you going to get him for?
Well, and the other part of Dynasty is why would I trade him?
Yeah. Because, I mean, we go back to talking about this all the time in Dynasty. A lot of people always assume, well, if I'm rebuilding, I need picks. And it's like, no, you can still rebuild with great youth. Like, in a rebuild league, like I said, I have Nick Chubb and Cooper Kupp. Now I have 3 other first-round picks to match up with them. I'm not saying, but it doesn't have to be all picks. I see so many times where people are trading Juju Smith-Schuster for like 2 first-rounders. And I'm like, for you to win that trade, you have to hit both of those first-rounders. Both those first-rounders need to be great players. You need to get a Nick Chubb and another hit this year, Kerryon Johnson. And even then, you're not really walking away a victory. Let's suppose you traded Juju Smith-Schuster at the beginning of this year, like, oh, I'm rebuilding. And let's say you did get Nick Chubb, but then you also drafted Rashad Penny. Did you win that trade?
Yeah.
I mean, so
Yeah.
you got to understand that when you trade these guys like Amari Cooper and Cooper Kupp, and and you're getting only like 2 first-rounders, you have to hit both of them to win this trade. So either A, you have a lot of faith in your drafting ability, or B, you're making a mistake. I just think. I think that now you're trading 2 first-rounders for age. You've got an older guy here. Sure. T.Y. Hilton. Sure. You trade around 2 first. Okay. But I just, young guys, young wide receivers, I'm really leery Nick, what is your person that great taste in your mouth?
Well, I'll give you one that doesn't have a great taste, but I think ages well. You know, the aftertaste is going to get better,
Okay.
and that's Corey Davis. And,
Okay.
and it comes with the fact that I believe that the Titans will improve their team in offensive line.
Well, it just
hopefully,
depends if Marcus Mariota's still there. That makes sense.
actually, it doesn't to me.
Well,
If he's not there, okay. If he is there, okay. I just feel like Corey Davis is a more talented player, and I don't think they can really have anyone to replace him and do better, if that makes sense. Like, if Corey Davis went to another team, he'd be the wide receiver one there. Granted, where he goes, but
they're different play styles, but they remind me a lot of like Amari Cooper Light, where you see it and you're like, why can't you just do that more? Mm-hmm. And then he doesn't.
yeah.
Just the
And
way we saw
so right
Amari
now
Cooper.
he's like
I
a
mean,
wide receiver, a 3 wide receiver 2, but he has every opportunity to be a solid wide receiver 2.
I mean, this week 2.1 points in standard, and PPR wasn't much more than that.
Like 2017, he was targeted 65 times. I mean, he didn't play the whole season. He was targeted 65 times and caught 34 of them. This year so far, he's been targeted 94 times and caught 54 of them.
Yeah, so I mean, he'll end with more than 100 targets this year. Mm-hmm. Suffice injury. I mean, you know, but I mean, it goes back to, like I said, Amari Cooper not necessarily his gameplay, but just the way that he's utilized, the targets, and his fantasy points. I mean, this last week, week 14, 4.1 points. Weeks before that, 14.4, and you're like, all right, cool. 23.5, cool. Week before that, 4.9. You're like, wait, when do I play you? Like, that's what I felt like with Amari
Let me give you the
Cooper.
old Amari Cooper standard. 2 on, 1 off, 1 on.
Yeah, I mean,
2 on.
but that's what I feel like too. And I mean, I like it.
So let me ask you though, with Corey Davis going forward, next year Delaney Walker comes back. You know,
Does he though?
What's the correlation?
I think he makes it better.
And he could open it up. I see that. But, you know, as far as target share goes, you know, you're talking about a Titans offense, if they were to reproduce like they do this year, an offense that isn't on the field very much, limited opportunity, can they, you know, what happens? Or does Delaney Walker extend that and it makes the offense better and it opens up both Marcus Mariota and Corey?
I guess
I mean,
what Corey Davis is doing right now to me is his floor.
okay.
And so if I trade for him, I'll trade at a fair price for what his price
Would
is
you
now.
give a first rounder for him? I would.
A late, like,
I would give a 2019 first for him, yeah.
Okay. Do you like him or
That's not
Allen
wrong.
Robinson moving forward?
Corey Davis. And it comes down to just how the coaches use their offense.
No, I'm not disagreeing. I think that's a. I think it's a debate.
I mean,
Yeah,
we saw
that's a
last night
debate.
in the red zone. I mean, Matt Nagy would rather use Tariq Cohen or a defensive tackle.
definitely not
I mean,
Jordan Howard.
Offensive tackle.
Yeah, the first offensive tackle being the only touchdown scored in the Super Bowl era.
So it's my turn right now.
I
Good
haven't
taste
even-
going bad.
Okay, sure.
Okay. I'm going to say this, and I'm not bragging. I'm not saying it, but there are a lot. I think I just have gotten lucky this season. But there's a lot of things that I have said that have come to fruition.
Yeah.
This
You're
will
not
be
gonna
one of
win.
them. I'm not said that, so it's not going to come to fruition. This is something else that's going to show itself. Gus Edwards has a good taste in your mouth, but he will not be the star running back for Baltimore.
I don't think that's hot.
It's not, but I want everyone to heed that when you have somebody coming and pushing you and saying, "I'll give you a second," and if it's a high second, I'm trading Gus Edwards for him. And because here's the thing is because his value is not that high. It's not a low first. Don't overvalue him. Because you have Gus Edwards. Kenneth Dixon is coming back this week. They've already said that that his workload's going to increase. I just don't trust any. You know, I am to the Ravens what Nick is to the Patriots. I do not trust any Ravens running back to have a promised job until they solidify themselves. He has had good games. He has not had great games. We also saw what happened with Alex Collins when he did the same exact thing last year.
Yeah, it reminds me of some kind of like when you do good, we love you. But then when you do like 1 or 2 bad games, the Ravens just throw you on the bench and say, next participant.
Yeah, and here's the thing is there are a lot
exactly
of
how
running
it
backs that are out there. We have seen a lot of running backs show themselves. Not that every team would trade them, but, I just touched on it just for a brief second earlier. What, the 49ers have 3 running backs, maybe 4, that's sitting on their team right now that can adequately produce. I mean, you have the Broncos who have Royce Freeman and Phillip Lindsay. I mean,
Lindsay.
look at the Redskins, what they have. They have Darius Geis on their IR. I mean, these are all guys that can produce. I don't think a guy like Gus Edwards, his job is safe. He's a glorified backup.
Okay. Before we move on, I want to give a shout out to one of our sponsors, Hall of Breaks. It's a place to get the newest memorabilia available, from recent signings and hot rookies to new products with classic players. First round picks to Hall of Fame standouts, the best products around are in the Hall. Daily chances to win prizes with a new series every week. Products from full-size replica and authentic helmets to minis and Blaze, Ice Speed, and other popular styles. There is some risk involved in this game of chance, so be sure to read all the rules on the page or contact the page admin with any questions. Hall of Breaks is more than just a prize page. It's a community of dedicated collectors and lovers of the game.
So, Hall of Breaks, fantastic little Facebook group there. You got to join it. If you check out on YouTube, we have our lovely memorabilia all decked out. We've got Jordan Howard jerseys. We've got Bears and Cowboys memorabilia all around. 2 out of the 3 teams will be in the playoffs. And yeah, just a great group.
Yeah, just go on YouTube and search Hall of Breaks, or I think it's Welcome to the Hall, or The Hall.
Yeah, Hall of Breaks. It's on Facebook.
And then,
You said YouTube.
oh yeah, they're not on YouTube.
They're not on YouTube.
Actually, they are.
So sorry, I made a little, let out a little giggle there. That's because Jonathan just looks at me and goes, "I've just gotta go," and I go, "Go where?" And he goes, "I've just gotta go to the bathroom." And so we are on episode 73, 4,
Yeah.
I don't know, in the 70s, and I don't think that's ever happened
I've
to where
never
we
had to get up and go.
Well, it's kind of crazy too, because we've been doing this podcast for a while now, and me and Nick. We started out with just one laptop, and look at us now. And we started on one laptop, and we've done a few guest appearances, or we'll have some people guest. We used to have a lot more guests on. Hey there, little Timmy had to go potty. And like the guest will be like, "Well, how long is your show?" And we're like, "Well, the episode's an hour." And I was like, "Yeah, but how long will it take for you to record it?" We're like,
An hour.
"Like, this is uncut, man. This is just right off, like
Uncut, unfiltered.
And they were like, "Oh, okay." Like, I think it was Mike Wright. We had Mike Wright on it. He was like, "Oh, I tried to join one, and they told me it'd be like a 45-minute podcast." He goes, "It took us 3 hours to record it," and I was like,
No.
"Like, why?" And they're like, "Oh, that's why they kept on doing different takes, and they would like cut and paste, and like, no, this is not cut and paste. We're just here, baby."
I copy paste.
Yes, absolutely. All right, Nick, do you
Back.
have anybody?
It's on you, Tyler.
I haven't.
No, this is his segment. We're given the data.
He is the host.
I guess so.
You're hosting, Nick. You go next.
I'll say. Okay,
Do as you're
I'm
told.
done.
Do as you're told.
Okay. All right.
Tyler, are you gonna
That-
say something?
You may go ahead and say the guy that you have a good taste in your mouth, but you don't feel like you can.
Yep.
use.
Tell me.
All right, George Kittle.
Nope. I hate you. My person is Jarvis Landry. I really like Jarvis Landry.
Mouth?
Right now, I feel like, outside of this last game, so this last game he did really well. I mean, Baker just freaking weaved a beautiful ball in between him and 2 defenders, and the world celebrated. But Jarvis Landry, I think, is still just a great wide receiver. I think that he has gone under a lot of trials and tribulations. This is a guy that, keep in mind, came onto the Browns. Okay, they have switched head coaches. They have switched quarterbacks. They have switched running backs. They have changed offensive coordinators. I mean, this man has gone through the gauntlet. In PPR formats, what is Jarvis Landry currently?
13.
20.
He is wide receiver 19.
Oh, it's closer.
Oh, sorry. Price is Right rules. You do win.
Yeah. So, I mean,
What was he last year?
wide receiver. He was a wide receiver. He was like the top 5 because he just got targeted
So,
all the time. I mean, I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is that before this, I think a lot of people were really upset with Jarvis Landry. I think that Baker takes a step forward next year. He's a good quarterback who just needs some more time to establish himself.
I just don't know if I put him that much higher than what he is now. And you could say this last week, but he rushed the ball for 54 yards and a touchdown.
I don't think that he becomes a wide receiver. I think there's a chance he becomes a low wide receiver 1. There's a chance. I mean, you're talking about going up 7 spots.
But
If he can just get on the same page as a offensive coordinator, a head coach, and a quarterback. I mean, name another wide receiver that has gone through all of that. I mean, 2 quarterbacks,
Benjamin.
2.
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
That's the thing is with Jarvis Landry. You know, we were talking about the Cowboys on an incline and the Steelers on a decline as far as personnel and everything goes. Jarvis Landry not only switched teams in the offseason, he then lost his head coach halfway through. I mean, you know,
I just think that everything that could go wrong for a wide receiver, if I were to sit here and say, okay, a wide receiver is not performing well. Why is he not performing well? What would be one of the reasons? Probably a switching quarterback. Yeah, that would be a big different. What else? Probably a rookie quarterback. Okay. Why else would a wide receiver underperform? New offensive coordinator, new head coach. Like it's just like everything.
yeah. I mean,
It's just he has everything working against him, and the fact that he is still doing things on the the fact that he is
Where'd you
still
get that information?
I don't know.
it's crazy.
The fact that he has 124 targets right now.
Yeah, and so here's the thing: is if you think this is hard on Jarvis Landry, imagine being a rookie quarterback, and imagine being able to have him produce, and you know,
Right now, top wide receivers targeted all year. Number 1, who's number 1? I bet you probably know.
most targeted.
Most targeted wide receiver. in
Oh,
the
Adam
NFL.
Thielen.
It actually is not. He has announced that it is Mr. Julio Jones,
He just
then
doesn't score
Antonio
touchdowns.
Brown, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, Juju Smith-Schuster, DeAndre Hopkins, Odell Beckham. Then it's Jarvis Landry. I mean, after Jarvis Landry, Keenan Allen, Stephon Diggs, Michael Thomas, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, Robert Woods. I mean, all these people have something in common. And I think that once he gets on the same page as Baker, I don't think that the Browns need to go out and get another wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
I think Antonio Callaway and him are fine. I know they have the picks, but I think they're going to use them elsewhere. I think Baker is the future. Just let them get on the same page and let 124, 100. I mean, Jarvis could very well easily end with 150 targets this year.
And I hope that he finishes around that wide receiver 19, because here's the thing is
With a catch percentage of 72.
yeah, I mean if he can finish that low, you're looking at him going in the 3rd or 4th round in a draft.
Mm-hmm.
If he's getting wide receiver 1 targets, he has the ability to be a wide receiver 1. That's just my theory. If you're getting the opportunity, that's the first step.
Yeah, my only thing is he was front loaded with a lot of those targets. Like the first part of the season, 15, 14s. And then more recently, like the past 6 weeks, he's not been targeted over 10 times.
They've also lost their coach though. They have
but
no personality.
But what if the next coach uses him the same way as they're using now? Less than 10 targets. I mean, I'm not saying he can't be.
So
great.
here's the thing,
I'm just
so-
saying that I am more
But see,
cryptic against it than you
this
are.
is why he doesn't have as good of a taste in your mouth, because of exactly what you were saying. The targets have been going down, et cetera, but I just really think that if they can get on the same page, realize what they have, I don't know. I just can't give up on Jarvis Landry.
Front runner is Mike McCarthy. So go to his offense real quick. Devontae Adams. Think about how many targets he gets a game.
I don't know. I listen. If you're not buying, that's fine. But I mean, just like Jonathan said, In a redraft league, I think he's going to go in the 3rd or 4th round. I think once we get closer to actual like rookie season in Dynasty, you could probably get Jarvis Landry for a 1st or like a 1st and a 2nd.
Yeah, I'd be fine with a 1st.
And I just think
For even just a wide receiver 2.
Oh yeah, I
mean, that's the thing. Not every wide receiver on my team needs to be a wide receiver 1. I'm fine buying
all
Jarvis.
of mine are, but yeah, that's fine.
Is that why you made the playoffs?
I actually scored the 2nd most points in the league. I don't want to hear it.
No, I just want to know.
I had the most points scored against me and the 2nd most points scored. And I didn't make the playoffs.
If you don't want to answer the question.
In all fairness, you lost Le'Veon Bell. You lost Devontae Freeman.
No, I know. I like busting them.
But in all
James
fairness,
Conner.
I have no sympathy for you because I lost by a half a point for a stat correction last year in the finals. I have no sympathy.
All right, guys. Well, that's our show.
What is the show?
That means I won last year. Jonathan lost.
Sunday.
Thanks for listening to the Fantasy
Show up.
Football Franchise Podcast, and follow us at F3Pod.